episode number 6 of Community Talks. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we are talking to one and only Jackie Quinlan. Hello, Jackie. How are you today?
Hi, Josh. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
No, I just wanted to start off like I do with any other interview. But you just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Why did you want to know?
Whatever you want to tell me. Your hobbies, your a personal project you're working on, whatever you want to share.
Well, the main thing I'm working on right now is, of course, a little free pantry. That one's got pretty popular. I set up a little pantry back in July, and just people add donations to it, and anyone who needs anything can help yourself to it. It's just in front of my house here on Southside Road. And we're actually in the process of trying to get some more pantries in the area. We just have one set up in Mount Pearl, not mine now, but another lady set one up in Mount Pearl. And we're going to be getting a couple of more pretty soon. So they've gotten pretty popular. I also help administer a sponsorship program with a friend of mine here in town. It's in Uganda, but we sponsor it here. Have any questions?
Uh, yeah, actually, I wanted to talk to you. Funny you brought up the pantry. As you know, that's kind of why I'm talking to you today. And actually, you just told me about the sponsorship, so maybe if we got time, I'd like to talk about that as well. But first things first with the pantry. Um, so how did the pantry become to be? Like, tell me the
Okay,
little
well,
story.
okay. Well, I've seen other pantries when we take our vacations in the summer. We usually head down to the States, and they've had them down there for years. You go around and they're on little poles and posts everywhere, and people just drop stuff off. And I've thought about doing it for a few years, but I wasn't sure how it was going to go over here. So anyway, finally the year I just said, let's just give it a try and see what happens, especially with the snowmageddon last year and this virus the year. I'm sure there's a lot of people in need. So anyway, we went ahead and built it and set it up, and it took about a month or so for people to kind of get the hang of what it was. But then it really took off. So now we're getting donations dropped after every day, several times a day, and people picking stuff up all hours, day and night. And since I set mine up in July, there was one here in town, well, in Mount Pearl, actually, before mine. But now, since mine has been set up, I know there's some out in Conception Bay. They just started a group and they're putting them out there. There's also three in Holyrood, Avondale, Dringander, Nordarm, and we're getting more here around town. Now there's a little one on Field Street
Wow.
and up in Cowan Heights. So yeah, they're getting pretty popular.
It sounds like it really taken off.
It has.
Now, are you aware is it like the Newfoundland thing, or has it started somewhere else? It came to
Oh,
Newfoundland, or
no, it's not a Newfoundland thing. Actually, they've been setting them up in the United States, Europe, Asia. They've been going on for years. I've been reading about it, and Canada actually. I know like BC, Toronto, whatever. They've been setting them up. I think there's something like 500 or 600 Canada wide. And I know, like I said, there was one here in Mount Pearl for a while, and then mine here in town. And now people are just starting to catch on to it, so they're starting to get a
oh,
little bit more popular.
what is awesome? What kind of stuff do you find people put in there? Is there some popular stuff that people tend to put in more than other stuff, or how does that work?
There is like, well, the staples, of course. People put a lot of, canned beans, sugar, tea bags, milk, um, canned meats and vegetables. They also have things like personal hygiene items. We have toothpaste, toothbrushes, um, all different types of toiletries, some house cleaners, pet foods, baby foods. I started doing up like each day. I do a couple of sort of meals in a bag. I put like a can of meat and pasta or rice or something, sauces that you need to go with it, so that they can just make a meal. and I put a couple of those down there. They're going really well. And I know in some areas they're putting in like fresh meats and things like that. I
Uh,
haven't went with that stuff yet, not really.
all right, well, that's amazing. It sounds like it's really popular. People are really enjoying it. If you find that people, it made like a difference or more of a difference than you were thinking in people's lives. Or
Yes, actually, definitely. I was kind of surprised with how much it is getting used. I mean, I'll find people 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I think they're doing that because maybe they're a little bit embarrassed about using it, so
yeah,
they're coming
maybe.
around later in the night and dropping that, picking up stuff. And but yeah, it's getting used a lot. And I've actually had a couple of people like come to my door and say thank you for putting it there, and they're making use of it. I had somebody dropped a letter in there the other day thanking me for it, and yeah, it's wonderful. A little girl sent a letter to her teacher about it.
That's adorable.
Yeah, sweet.
Now starting off, now if you had like any problems starting off, or people a bit too grabby and not enough givey, or
In the beginning, the first month, I did have like a couple of times people just kind of came and emptied it, but I think that was more they didn't really understand what it was all about. Once it was there a while, we're not really getting that. I mean, every now and again you will get someone take stuff, but take a lot of stuff, but maybe they need it all. I don't know. I can't say that,
mm,
but not much
run,
abuse of it. I don't think.
run on. And well, and eat food in a box outside. I hope you don't have any trouble with animals or anything, do you?
No, we've never had no problem with anything like that. Well, it's off the ground. It's at a post, probably 3 foot after ground.
Oh, okay, that's a
So we
good thing.
haven't had no problem with that. And we've never had a problem with, anything freezing or anything. But food is not usually there very long. If there's anything goes out there, it's probably gone in a half hour to an hour. The more popular stuff. If I'm putting
Mm,
out eggs or something, that's gone within a few minutes. So we don't
mm.
usually have to worry about that.
So, how long did you say you've been doing this?
We set it up in July, the 23rd of July, actually.
Alright, so it'll be a year in July. Alright, well, it's sound like you're not even a year over and you've already made a lot of difference in people's lives. And I think it's a phenomenon. It's really something that more people should do if they can. It really reminds me of like a true, kind of neighbor action. You know what I mean? Like it really seems like a neighbory thing to do, and I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and I really hope that you're able to continue doing it and without any issues. It seems to be going very good so far.
It is. It's going really well. An interesting thing about the neighborly part of it is our neighborhood here on Southside Road. I find like people on the road have almost kind of adapted it. We get we get a lot of people from the road who'll come and they're constantly donating. That's where the majority I think is coming from. My neighbors here and people further down the road, and I'll have people come by and say, when we grew up here, I wish it had been something like that here, Dean. Could really be used. So we get a lot of donations there.
But it's good. I'm glad to hear.
Well, one issue I'm kind of working on now is I have had a few people like message or call saying they could use the help, but they had no way to get here. Like, especially like yourself, someone using a wheelchair. I mean, yourself, wheelway or sorry, go bus. Dating myself here, wheelway. Um, a go bus. I mean, you can't call go bus up and say I'm going to need to run to the pantry. So it's a little bit difficult, or for senior citizens who have more trouble coming here. So I was hoping to try to find a way that maybe one day a week we can be able to deliver a few items to people who need it.
Yeah, that's actually, that would be a great idea
Yeah,
to
obviously I would
deliver it.
need to get a few volunteers or something to help with that, but that's what I was kind of hoping, even one day a week, say if we could do that kind of thing to help out people who weren't able to get here.
Yeah, well, like I said, like you said, uh, GoBus is not going to be able to book GoBus just for that, right?
No,
It's
exactly.
not possible. The way they operate. So if you go there, you got to pick it up, and then they leave, and then you're waiting for another bus out in the cold for God knows how long, right? So I
Go
think it's
bus.
a great
That's
idea. I think it's a great idea to deliver, and I really hope you go find some volunteers for this. So
I hope so.
I'm sure you could even help out even more people by doing so. So that's phenomenal. If there's anything we can do at Accessible Now to help you out, let us know. And
Yes, excellent.
we will be more than happy to help
I would
out.
love to be able to do that because I have had a couple of people, and we did do a few deliveries, but it's not something we can keep up on just ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But every
But
now and again we've done it, just special circumstances kind of thing. But mostly I've been staying away from that because I don't want to go there until I've got something set up. It just makes it a little difficult.
yeah. No, I got one more question for you, Jackie. Actually, two more. Uh, I ask everyone this. What, obviously, we know each other through Accessible NL. I'm just wondering what brought you to Accessible NL.
Well, my daughter, obviously, my daughter is she uses a wheelchair. She's got cerebral palsy. She's be 31 in a few days. Actually, tomorrow. She'll be
Wow.
31 tomorrow. And yeah, I kind of got involved with Accessible now because of that. And Kelly is a member there. Kelly came here. We met her when she was renovating our daughter's bathroom, and she did a marvelous job, by the way. And yeah, we like to get involved with the whole accessible thing. I like my daughter to be a little more involved. But, you know,
But
what do you?
what is good? And that's all the questions I had today. For the end of our community talk videos, I like to give people an opportunity to speak their mind or say talk about any other project they have on the go or to give you the spotlight and let you talk. So before we go, is there anything else you would like to say?
Well, I would like to mention sponsorship program. It has nothing to do with accessibility or the pantry,
Okay.
but I helped my friend Tracy Langdon to run a sponsorship program in Uganda. We've got 238 children there that we sponsor and keep them in school, and they're getting a couple of meals a day. So anyone interested in sponsoring, we're always looking for more.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you have an email or a link or anything people could check out if they're interested?
Actually, George's Journeys on Facebook, and just look up George's Journeys, and all the information is there. There's our sponsorship program itself is called Journey to Empowerment Uganda, and you can just find any information there. And we've got like 60 children right now looking for sponsors, so always looking
Okay,
for
well,
help.
that's fantastic. I will make sure I will leave that in the YouTube description so people can check it out.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much for having us, for coming on today. It was very nice talking to you.
You too, Josh.
I see you made it to the end of the video. Why not help us out by hitting that subscribe button and commenting down below to let us know how we did. And I'll see you in the next video.